Hi, my name is Armin, and I'm going to teach you how to play over solar, improvise over solar in a way that will simplify everything for you. But before I do that, I'm going to just show you when I played with the great Peter Bernstein in Italy. Not everything, just kind of just so you can see that I'm using my skills out with the greats. So basically, yeah, I've been I this was from Italy, and I played with him. We were for 3 days we played, and it was one of the best experiences ever. I've learned so much. But enough about that. I just wanted to show you, and I'm gonna teach you how to play over this tune, Solar, right? And usually when I teach stuff, I always go and I always use my concept. It's not my concept, but a concept called minor conversion. So it's something that I really strongly believe in, and that's helped a lot of people that I work with. By the way, if you want to work with me one-on-one, you can just go to the link down below and just book a call with me. And basically, we'll talk about your goals and see if you're eligible to join the mentorship program. But inside the mentorship program, we have a lot of people who've gotten really great results with these formations. Basically, that's it's a way to improvise, which just simplifies the fretboard, basically. So you know how you usually go after, you basically play scales, or you just learn scales. That's kind of what Berkeley teaches you, that what school teaches you, to learn all scales in all positions and all that. But how I think about it is, instead of learning scales, you go after these kind of. This, you can see this is a scale, but it's not really a scale because it has bebop line. Like, it's a bebop line, basically. It has arpeggio, it has scale, it has chromaticism, so it has that sound you want to have. So instead of learning scales, you're just learning music, but you're thinking about it as a scale. So when you go to improvise, you just know you can apply these stuff, right? So you have 4 different formations, right? And if you watch my videos before, you already know these. But yeah, so basically that's how I like to teach, because it's so like simple in a way, because you're just mapping out the fretboard in a way that's just much simpler for one, but also you're saving time from just learning scale. So imagine you don't even have a lot of time. You just practicing a major scale like this is not going to take you as far as you actually learning stuff that actually works over a 2-5-1. You know, so that's kind of how I think about it. Just going to the music, and that's what I've been teaching, and that's why people get results that work with me. So basically, this is the PDF that I use. You know, when I teach people, and so this PDF, I will put it in the description. You can get it for free. Just I guess you just put it in your email, and you'll get it sent to your email. But this PDF is what I use, basically. So you have 4 positions, basically, and this is the thing you should transpose in all keys. So that's basically what I tell everybody. Learn these in G minor, but that's not the end of the world. You got to transpose it to all keys, because when you've learned these, you're gonna feel, wow, like you're gonna feel like, wow, this I'm sounding good. That's gonna be your thing. But then that's usually, you might not be used to the thought of transposing. You gotta transpose, all right? So when you play something, just transpose it so you can get used to it, right? That's how I want you to do with these, because when we go to talk about how to improvise over this tune, that's how I will communicate, using these formations, because that's the easiest way I can do it, and it's also a way for you to learn how to improvise beautiful lines without being overwhelmed. All right, so solar, let's get into solar, okay? So this is how I would think about it. First chord, you just think C minor. And when I say C minor, I'm always going to relate to these, right? This is the formations, minor formations, right? So when I say C minor, I mean C minor formations, using these formations, but in the key of C minor, of course, because these are in G minor. But since you've transposed everything in all keys, then you just know that this, when I say C minor, I mean C minor formations, all right? And you do that, of course, because the first chord is a C minor, so you basically do that for 2 bars here, and then it changes to G minor. So you play G minor formations. And then here it goes to F major for 2 bars. Here, when it's a major chord, you can actually play D minor formations. And here it goes back. Notice I'm using one formation for 2 chords, and I'm going to tell you why in a second. F minor formations over those chords. Here, E flat minor formations. And then here you can do F minor, but it's, yeah. So this is kind of how I always think about it. You got C minor for 2 bars. You got G minor for 2 bars. You got D minor for 2 bars. You got F minor for 2 bars. You got, over this E flat major 7, you can play C minor. Here you can play E flat minor. Over this D flat major 7, you can play, what would that be? B flat minor, right? Yeah. B flat minor. Notice though, I'm going to tell you something, because now it might look like it's a lot, but it's actually not. So let me tell you. You got C minor for 2 bars, you got G minor for 2 bars, you got D minor for 2 bars, you got F minor for 2 bars, you got C minor here for 1 bar, E flat minor for 2 bars, for 1 bar, B flat minor, F minor. So we basically we're thinking minor over everything here. And what I'm going to tell you is, like, when this, if this tune would go fast, because this tune goes like this, right? It starts over. So it's 12 bars. It goes quite quick. It's not like you're going to play all these formations, you know, when it goes at that tempo. It's like you won't be able to do that. So this is like something you can do if it goes. Right? And then you have time. If it goes at this tempo, you play the formation. You know? That's kind of using the formations in a way that works with the tune, because in the end you're not gonna like have time to just play all the formations up and down. You know, people think just because I'm saying, like, just because you have C minor here, it doesn't mean you're gonna play when you improvise. But when you're actually doing an exercise, I think it's good to just play this. So play this at a slow tempo is what I'm trying to say. Slow. All right, this is really important, because when you play it at a slow tempo, you can actually just take your time and actually play the formations going up and down. So how would that actually sound? Let me do it in time. See, do I have a backing track somewhere? I don't think. People ask me about backing tracks all the time. I usually don't practice to backing track. I try to just play without a backing track. But let me just try to play, and you can watch the chords, all right? I'll try to make this as best as I can. Let me play the formations. So the formations, I'm gonna try to really make it as smooth as possible, but in a very slow tempo. Okay, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. F major, F minor, E flat major, F minor, C minor, G minor, F major, F major. Now it goes to F minor. F minor. Alright, so you see it works. So you might ask, but how did that work? How did you think? What is your mind saying? Well, what I'm doing when I'm improvising the formations is I'm always using the nearest possible route. Alright, so that's kind of what you will learn once you start doing this, right? Because you have the different formations. You can kind of see that I did this, right? And I did. So it's like something that I use, but these all come from the formations. So once you start actually using these, you will start finding out ways to do it, you know. The point is to also just chill, right? To just like, okay. You know, it's like the more you chill, the more you have to work with. So don't just kind of start playing everything you know, and that is also like something you will start doing once you've done the exercise. So first of all, I would actually want you to just play it up and down. To be honest, like. Yeah, I can't do it at the same time. Sorry. Yeah. So you get what I'm saying. So just kind of start with C minor, switch to G minor, and then once you kind of play this, you also realize that kind of when you have this F major here, you can play D minor, but it's also like when it's an F major, the reason why you can play D minor is they are related because it's the relative minor, right? But if you just look at kind of the formation in D minor, right? It really has that F major sound. That's why it works. So I would say when you think about that F, like when you see an F major 7, you can think D minor, but also have your thought about it being an F, right? So does that make sense? So just have that kind of. So right, so that's also something that you can do is to start like using these formations, but also kind of just being aware of what chord tones they are implying. So when you play like a C minor formation over a C minor chord, that's going to give a certain sound, like a C minor 6 sound, right? And if you play a C minor formation over an F7, that's going to have a different sound. Going to have that sound. And if you would play a C minor arpeggio over a C minor formation over a, let's say, an E flat major 7 chord, that's going to have a certain sound. Right? That's going to have one certain sound. So it's like just being aware of what sound is it that these formations create. And I would say that's like the best way. And if you want to get deeper, of course, then you should definitely join the mentorship. If you think this is actually something that could benefit you, then you should definitely, you book a call down below and I'll ask you questions, see if you can actually join. And after that, we can go deeper into this stuff. So book a call down below if you're interested. that's basically what I have to say. I think that's kind of, there's of course much more you can talk about, but I would say just learn the formations, and apply them to solar like this, and play it slow, right? So that is like my you know, one thing I realize with a lot of people that I work with, students, they're trying to play too fast. It's like, no, there's no stress. You don't have to play fast, okay? There's no reason to play fast right now because you're trying to learn, okay? Like playing fast is cool, but that's also something that doesn't make sense that you would start, like, you know, you really got to ingrain these. So, you know, first step one is to learn these in all keys. All right, so that's something you can do, and learning them in all keys can just look like this, right? Formation 1 in G minor, and now you can just switch to a random, like formation 2 in an E flat minor. Where's that? Well, right, that was formation 2 in E flat minor. You know, so just kind of just be very, like, that's a thing you can do, right? If you want to learn these, just take a random chord like A minor, A minor, and then you take a random chord, and now I'm playing fast just to demonstrate, but you can play slow, just really ingrain it. F sharp minor, right? You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of it. That's what I have to say today, I think. So hope this helped, and be sure to book a call if you're interested. See you.